Welcome to the show where I take a look at someone's past month spending and the income that came in, see how that all comes together to meet their financial goals they're trying to achieve or get over the financial obstacles that they're struggling with right now. Make sure to subscribe, as one of the first 50,000 subscribers here will win $1,000 the week we hit 50,000 subscribers. But with that out of the way, my name is Caleb Hammer. Today we are meeting with Danny. Danny, how old are you and where are you based out of?
I am 25 years old and I live in Newport, Rhode Island.
Perfect. What do you do for a living?
I am a software engineer.
Ooh, what are you bringing in here?
I'm bringing in 88K.
Why is that so low for a software engineer?
I didn't have any internships coming out of college, so I kind of just took the first job that I could. When I first came out of college, I was making 69K. And then I jumped from that job to the one I have now, and then I'm at 88.
So you're a junior position, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many years have you been doing this in the professional field?
This is maybe my third year.
All right. Interesting. Yeah, like almost any software engineer that I worked with in my last PM role made more. But is it remote?
No, it's in person.
Okay, maybe it's just the area. That's interesting. So what are some of the financial goals you're trying to achieve or financial obstacles that I might be able to help with?
In the long term, I'm just trying to reach financial independence, the FIRE movement, But I guess in the shorter term, right now I'm just kind of in money saving mode. Maybe eventually I want to start either like a business or go back to grad school. I don't really have that too planned out. So right now I'm just accumulating wealth so that in the future I can just do whatever it is that I end up wanting to do.
Are you living at home with the parents?
No, I am renting.
What's the percentage you are trying to save on a monthly basis?
Right now I think it's at like 30%.
Yeah, I mean, 30%, that's going to take quite a while to achieve FIRE.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's holding you back right now from kind of, going a little harder to meet that goal?
Definitely my pay could be higher, but also like right now my rent is pretty high. So I think that's also kind of holding me back a bit.
Well, even if I want you to make more as a software engineer, $80,000 in general, well above the median household income by $15,000, if I'm not mistaken. So that's really good. What's your rent?
1,600.
It's a bit for sure. What are you in? 1 bed, 2 bed? What?
It's a 1-bedroom, no roommates.
What are you bringing after taxes a month? Like 5,500?
After taxes, so bi-weekly, I think it's like 2,200, and then but 10% is going to a 401k, so I think about 44 a month.
Oh, that 2,200 was before match?
That's just what I get bi-weekly. So that's
okay, so that's net? That's net. Okay. So 2,200. And it is bi-weekly. It's not semi-monthly, it's bi-weekly.
It's bi-weekly.
Yeah, taxes bullying you hard, and then contributions. Oh, what the heck? That's kind of crazy. Well, on an average, you're bringing in $4,766 a month. Yeah, your rent is 34%.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty high.
It's pretty high. And is that just the area, or did you just accidentally pick one that's a little much for you, or what?
So actually, I think the rent around here, it's closer to like 2,000. So I feel like I got a pretty good deal for the area.
If rents are that expensive, it's pretty similar to here. I'm surprised, like the pay for a software engineer, 3 years in is not matching the cost of living there because it does here. So I'm not saying you should be making like 120 or anything like that, but I'm a little surprised you're not at least in the 90s right now.
My performance review is coming at the end of the year, so hopefully I'm gonna ask for probably pushing 6 figures, but we'll see what happens.
Well, current research has shown that if you don't leave your job once every 2 years, you'll, for another job, getting a pay raise by switching jobs to a different company, you lose about 50% of potential money over the course of a career if you don't do that every 2 years. So, Charles Schwab, is this your checking? Yes, it is. High yield investors checking. Let's buy high yield. I'm not seeing the interest, but
It's not that much. It's like 0.03 or whatever, 0.05.
okay. It's not, all right. So you started with 7,200, and then you brought in 7,300, took out 4,700. So that's good, and about almost $10,000 sitting in there. I saw you had a lot of credit cards in your statement, so I'm seeing that electronic, everything's just deposits and then paying.
So then there's I have a side job on the weekend, so that's why there's like extra money coming in. If you see like NHC transfer or something, that's from a side gig.
What's your side job?
I'm a server at weddings on the weekends.
Why?
Just for some extra cash, honestly.
What do you bring in from that?
That is about maybe $350 a week, $22 an hour.
I don't know, they're like $900 ish. Okay. It's like, and then after taxes, probably like $5,200 a month now after everything said and done. Okay. All right, let's take a look at your spending then. We do have a Chase Freedom Flex. So within this month, and we'll start adding this up and compare it to the money that came in, $316 was spent. Let's see where this was. Not many things. PayPal, it was SD, so you got something big on SD, and then Thai cuisine and a pizza and some gas. What'd you get for $250 on Etsy?
I got some posters. Let me see if you can see it in the background. Those two right there.
Okay, so to be clear then, if you're full in on the fire movement, the decor on the wall took precedence.
Full in, yeah. I've been putting off decorating my apartment for a while, so that was kind of like a splurge purchase.
Okay, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but again, coming from the perspective of you mentioning fire, $77 on the next card. You don't hold balances, it looks like, so that's a good thing. There were 3 purchases. Looks like a utility, Amazon, and DoorDash.
Sounds about right.
Wait, do you have... Why am I seeing 2 Sapphire? Oh, they're the same statement. Okay.
Oh, maybe I sent it twice. I sent for like different months too, because we've been putting this off for a while.
Right. Discover $643. Now that's a good amount. So yeah, that's a lot. Let's see here. Well, it looks like this is the fun card because we have like Rhode Island, King something, Smokehouse, Springdale Coffee, McDonald's, Coal Fired, Waterman Grill, Dunkin'. There's some more donuts after that, and Uniqlo, some more donuts, Amazon, Corner Cafe, Shell. That one's less fun, but you probably drive into all these gasoline, so that's what's required. Stop and Shop, Amazon Marketplace, Amazon, Stop and Shop, and a salon. So, you know, I can excuse the salon, and if the Shop and Stop is for groceries, we're good there, and then the gas. But everything else was fun money. So this was kind of a fun card of...
Sounded like a lot of food.
Yes. Yes, so hundreds of dollars of fun being spent. And then you have a city. Double cash. Oi, a lot on this one. $1,246. Love the double cash. Oh, it's actually not too many purchases, but there's some heavy rollers here, like Indy Sky Pass. That's a big one. Idemia and Franklin Rogers. So, what are all those?
So the ski pass one, the Indy whatever one, that was a ski pass that me and my friends decided to buy. So I think that gives you a lot of accesses to a bunch of resorts around the country. So yeah, that just ended up being super expensive.
And how much have you used this since within the past? Because this is September. Within the past like month and a half.
I have not used it yet.
Shocker for things like that. The salon on here, Stop and Shop. We're seeing lots of repeat customers. Amazon, some UPS and USPS. Stop and Shop. Muse Vape a few times. That's an expensive hobby. That's not great for you. Supercharge. So very expensive here. It's a lot of money spent, especially on things you haven't used, and then a lot of things that don't last. They're just one-time consumptions. I do believe that is all the spending. So let's see the math. So on the cards, $2,282, and your rent is, you said $1,600?
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, $3,882. Are we surprised that you're having a hard time saving very much from $4,766 when $3,882 is immediately gone? I'm not surprised.
I am not surprised either.
Let me go back through your checking account again into the expenses. So again, well, what is this? This is $1,600. So I'm assuming that's rent. You paid it with a check. Okay.
Yep.
Coinbase, $150 out. Lots of payments, and that's fine. There's Planet Fitness, only $10, and that's important. Coinbase, $150. Lots of Coinbase in here. $85 withdrawal. That looks like maybe paying a utility. Not 100% sure.
Which one? What was it?
It doesn't exactly say what it is, but it's $85.
That's probably utilities, if I had to guess.
Coinbase. So we should take a look at this Coinbase. But I mean, a side job is essentially there to finance your luxury spending that you're giving yourself because you're living a luxury lifestyle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do I not have your Coinbase?
I did not send the Coinbase.
Okay.
Are there statements from Coinbase?
Yeah, there's statements on every financial platform. Just tell me how much is in Coinbase.
Right now, my total holdings is, let it load, $4,000.
4,000, and what is it in?
It's mostly in Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Why'd you bring up fire at the beginning of this conversation?
Wait, what?
Why'd you bring up fire at the beginning of this conversation? You're not doing fire.
I'm not.
Okay, what other investing accounts do you have? Coinbase, 401k, what else?
I have a Roth IRA and then an individual brokerage when I max out the contributions to the IRA.
Roth IRA, has that been maxed out every year for the last 3 years while you've had this?
I started it in 2019 and I think I maxed it out every year since then, yeah.
And what kind of market-based fund or individual stocks or whatever is that based in?
That's mostly mid-cap ETFs and the S&P 500 and then some foreign, broad foreign investment.
Tell me about your 401k. How much, what percentage are you putting in on a monthly basis? How much is matched and what kind of funds are those in?
It's mostly invested in the same stuff that I just mentioned for my Roth. I'm putting in 10%. Half of it is going towards, so 5% is going into, I think, a Roth 401k, and then 5% is traditional, and there's a 5% match.
Okay, yeah, 10%. I'm good with that. That's happy. Now this brokerage. What's the balance on this brokerage, and what are they in?
The brokerage, it's probably floating around 20K. And it's kind of just in the same stuff, S&P 500, mid cap ETFs, foreign markets.
How much is in your 401k ish?
At my old job, there's probably the one that I left a year ago, there's probably 10K in there. And the one I have right now, I haven't like rolled them over together. This one probably has, I'm not sure, somewhere between 5 and 10K.
We're gonna say you have about 40,000 invested in those different market funds across everything, and you have $4,000 in crypto. Oh, well, that's easy math. I'm okay with the 4,000 in crypto. That's fine. It was a little scary at first because I didn't know what other accounts you have, but that's in a good percentage of your overall portfolio. So that's fine. It's not crazy. Well, what does suck is, I mean, again, I'm still going off of this fire thing. What age do you want to retire?
Well, it's not that I want to like retire early. It's more so that I can kind of just take different jobs and not really worry about the money. So just to be in a comfortable spot where I can take kind of lower paying jobs that kind of interest me more.
What age do you want the financial independence? What age do you want to fire?
Just so I could be like comfortable, so I can like be able to do like different types.
Yeah. What age? What age?
Oh, what age? Maybe like 45.
By 45, the way you're doing it now, taking in account, well, actually, let's do pre-inflation. Pre-inflation will get you at about $1 million, but in today's money, you'd be at about $780,000. So, I mean, technically, with that, you could siphon off $31,000 a year. So that could supplement having a lower pay. I don't know if that's necessarily what I would want to have. I would either want to make these contributions maybe like $2,000 a month. Well, the 401k. So that's about 10,000. Okay. Yeah, so that kind of works. Would get you to 1.3 in today's money, $52,000 a year. What's your target? What's your target financial independence siphonable salary?
I have not really thought about that, to be honest.
Okay. Well, if it's like $50,000 a year, then what you should $50,000 a year in today's money, then that you would probably want to continue the 10% and then invest about $1,300 a month into these market-based index fund type whatevers, that things that aren't crypto. If you want to continue a little bit on that, that's what I was trying to say. If you want to continue a little bit on that, that's fine. But index funds for the rest, majority of your portfolio, you would have to do about 1,200, which technically in this math no, you can't. No, you have $900 that you're not spending currently. So right now you would not be hitting that target within 20 years, which is when you'd be 45, of course. So essentially what you would have to do, what I would do if I were in your shoes, not official financial advice, in your shoes, you saying, I want to have the financial independence executed in 20 years. I have $80,000 a year right now that I'm making. Obviously, income will go up, but with the way you live, I assume that's going to be lifestyle inflated. You're living kind of a life of luxury right now, which is, kind of fun to live in the early 20s. You get, you're only 3 years into a career, 3 years into having money for the first time. There's just, I'd try. Are you on a budget?
No, not really.
Okay, well, mistake number one. So make a budget. Allow yourself to have fun. Because you have no debts, correct?
No.
Do you have an emergency fund?
Oh, I have 10,000 in an Ally savings account.
Cool. All right, we're good there. So I might get that to 15 because your rent is a little expensive. But besides that little side note, but because you essentially have an emergency fund and because you have no debts, what I would do in your shoes, non-official financial advice, trying to hit FIRE by 40, I would make a budget. I would allocate, maybe you can allocate essentially like $1,000 to fun still, which is incredible on a monthly basis. But just make sure you're not spending more on that every month, and then put 1,200, 1,300 towards, to your Roth before that's maxed out, and then to your brokerage that's mimicking those same kind of funds. And then you would be able to hit that goal likely just based on historic results of the market by 45, and you'd be able to siphon off $50,000 in today's money. So that's what I would do. It would be creating the budget and then having a little bit of sacrifice, not really because you're still having way more fun than the average person, but saying you do have a cap on that if some expensive fun things come up like that ski pass. So there are caps in order to hit the goals you want to do. So what are your thoughts? What are you actually going to do?
So let me ask you something. In my Schwab statement, there's like $150 transfers into my Roth. I'm doing $150 a week into my Roth. And would you say that that's like not enough to kind of achieve financial independence by 45, or at least that supplemental income?
Into your Roth IRA?
Mm-hmm.
Your Roth IRA max $6,000 a year is not going to be even close to enough.
What if I was doing 150 more into brokerage?
No. What's $1,300 times 12? It's $15,600. Divide that by 52. So 52 weeks would be how much? How much did you say you're doing on a weekly basis?
Right now, I'm doing 150 into the Roth, and then that'll move to the brokerage after I max it out, which I think I already have this year. And then 150 into crypto right now is what I'm doing.
Oh, well, I wouldn't do that because that's a 50-50 balance. If anything, I would do, you could do 250 towards the Roth and then brokerage when that is maxed out. And then maybe like $50 towards crypto if you want to continue doing that.
So how would you feel about that $300 a week?
The 300 should be fine. 300 times 52.
Because that's what I'm doing right now, the 300 a week.
Would get you to $15,600 a month, and that is our a year, which gets us to that $1,300. So that's good. That works. The 150 alone, no, that's half.
Yeah, no.
Now I would not do 50-50 split between crypto and that. That's not where I'd go. But just balance it correctly. Do like 50 into crypto. And I know that's not very fun. That's not exhilarating on a month-to-month basis. But if you're going to do it correctly. Do it well balanced.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So what are you actually going to do?
I mean, I guess I'll try to cut back on my spending a little bit, but I feel like I am saving enough, but I do want to save more. So I guess I'll like be looking more at my spending and maybe trying to cut back a little bit. This side job is about to end too because wedding season's almost over because it's winter here now. So that income's going to go away. So I'll have to see kind of where my finances lie after that.
Well, again, if you hit the $300 a week at a minimum, then you can have fun beyond that. That's fine. You already have all your basics out of the way. Emergency fund, again, would add an extra 5 to that. But either way, at 10 with no debts, yeah, go have fun beyond the $300 a week. So just make sure that's happening. Right now, that doesn't math in the equation. It literally doesn't with your credit cards, with only your credit cards and rent. So this isn't transfers to other bank accounts. It doesn't math right. Right now you can do like it was like $180 a week. So
those are actually transfers coming in from other bank accounts. Because right now I'm farming credit or bank account rewards.
All right. Any final thoughts?
No, not really. Big fan of the show. Thanks for having me. Thanks for giving me some financial advice, and I really appreciate it.
So for Danny's Hammer financial score, I think he's obviously, and the numbers before us showed us that he's doing very well. He has no debt. His emergency fund is there. He is investing a good amount of money. The target, $300 a week, he currently couldn't make based on his monthly spending. So there's some budgetary issues. So on the good sides, no debt, emergency fund, is able to have fun, has a well-paying job, even if I think he should be able to make a little more, especially in the near future for a software engineer. I think on the negatives, his goal was a little less than clear. He mentioned fire at the beginning, but then the actions were not, being in effect to meet those goals that he kind of laid out for the fire movement. And the fact that he didn't have a budget as well, the numbers of 4,766 coming in, and then with the rent and credit card, 3,882 coming out, it just didn't work. So not having a budget, emergency fund being a little less than I would like for the expensive life he's living, and just I don't want to say out of control spending, but just not really knowing where things are going. I'd give him a Hammer financial score of 8 out of 10. Obvious rooms for improvement, but clearly on a good track. So good job, Danny. And if you want to be on the show, especially if you have a financial struggle that you're trying to deal with that you want my take on, email me at castingcalebhammer@gmail.com, which is also linked in the description below. And if you know anyone who might enjoy this kind of content, please share this video as it really helps the growth of this channel. Subscribe and stick around for more. Thanks.